Hello denizens, welcome back to the Seventh Circle. My name is Eric, and this week we are going to do some Enchanted Forest Terrain. I'm going to start with some MDF board and then a little bit of pink scrap XPS foam to shape out the bases. Once you have your basic shapes down, I'm going to use a little bit of acrylic caulk, some mortar, sand, black paint, and some tea leaves to give the base texture. I'm going to paint that all on the MDF board to seal it in, and then we'll move on to the next step. After that was dry, I go ahead and primed and zenithal highlighted, but I could tell that the pink foam was still a little rough, and I knew I probably should have filled this area in beforehand, so this is definitely a learning lesson here. I made up some plastered wall powder here and just mixed them with a little bit of water, and then I'm going to flatten out the unnatural curves here on these pieces and just kind of smooth them into the base so it looks a little bit more natural, like real earthen mounds. One of the things that I've recently really started getting into is using Liquitex colors through the airbrush. Now you don't need to have an airbrush or use inks to do this step. You can use your traditional brush and paint, but it really speeds up the process, and I think it looks really nice when you get finished with it. It's just really smooth, the colors are very vibrant, and it's something different I haven't been used to. The other colors I used were Vallejo Model Air colors. I didn't have the red or purples in ink yet, so I just reached what I had in hand. And again, you don't have to use these specific colors, it's just what I had to use. And I think it came out really nice. So again, when you're doing these Enchanted Forest pieces, you want something bright and vibrant and really pops off of that green stem. And once I was completely finished with spraying the flowers with the airbrush, I went in and did the base, so could cover up all the overspray, and use burnt umber followed by chestnut, and then a little bit of territorial beige to highlight the ground. Okay, so before I put the flock down, I want to make sure I use a little bit of paper just to catch the excess, because I'm going to pour it right back in the bottle when it gets a little messy here. You're going to want to reuse this stuff. I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other base, and I'm just going to leave a little bit of space in between the flowers so it looks like there's a trail here that creatures can meander through. Once the burnt grass is dry, I'm going to put on a little bit more PVA glue here, and then I'm going to put down JTT Martian Green. It's a very bright green. Again, you don't have to use these specific brands. You can use whatever's on hand. It's just what I had laying around. And then once this is on, I am going to finish that off with a little bit of blended tuft grass. The blended tuft grass will bring back the contrast between the very dark and the very bright here. And then I'm using a little bit of PVA, watered down PVA glue, just to settle it all in and make sure there's not a mess when you come out to play with your terrain. And just sprinkle a little bit of this to break up the extreme highlights between the very bright Martian green and the very dark burnt grass, and it gives it a nice blend of the two. Then I just give it a little bit more of watered down PVA to seal everything in and let it dry. Okay, so that's going to do it for this week. Please hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notification, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment below. Every time you do that, it helps my channel grow, and a good chance that it will be suggested to other viewers who will enjoy the hobby like you. And remember, there's always room for one more soul in the 7th circle.